1 for 10 from the field with 2 points. I mean, look, we would have only known you showed up last night because you assaulted a couple of players or one player. Had you not done that, nobody would have even known you was on the court.
Well, poor Kate has gone quite a while without breaking her nose, and
The rest of the game, thanks.
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye.
That was Caitlin Clark after DJ Carrington caught her in the eye last season. Guess what? Something similar happened again, this time with Kate Martin. When DJ Carrington couldn't get to Caitlin Clark, she went for the closest to her, delivering a brutal foul that sent her crashing to the floor, leaving fans in an uproar.
There's Aaliyah Edwards. See, right here, Aaliyah Edwards has a challenge. But Djonai Carrington, she goes for it, man. She goes for it. Look at this. There is, this the cock block locked and loaded. Boom. Here's what's worse is you hear these commentators like so excited about this with the chase down. She fouled the shit out of her, doofus. Did I just use the word doofus? Yeah, I use that word. Yeah, doofus.
Kate Martin, often hailed as the closest thing to Caitlin Clark in Unrivaled, found herself at the center of controversy after a vicious foul by DJ Carrington left her awkwardly sprawled on the floor. Fans erupted with outrage as the blatant aggression unfolded, sparking debates about intent and the league's response. For Unrivaled, Martin represents more than just a talented player. She is their cornerstone, a symbol of hope and excellence who has drawn fans to the team with her remarkable performances.
It's being reported that Kate Martin gets annoyed over Djonai Carrington's physical defense during Unrivaled. WNBA standout Kate Martin didn't seem to appreciate the physical defense Djonai Carrington played on her during Unrivaled League. And I'm telling y'all right now, we already know how she coming, bro. She's very handsy with her style of play, and she's not the only one. It's a lot of ladies in this league that play like that.
From the very beginning, the basketball court has been a stage for intense competition. But when physicality crosses the line, it demands accountability. DJ Carrington's vicious foul on Kate Martin, leaving her awkwardly sprawled on the floor without so much as an apology, has sparked outrage among fans and raised serious concerns about the WNBA's standards for player safety and sportsmanship. To make matters worse, the league failed to classify the foul as flagrant, letting the play continue as if nothing had happened.
If she can't get to Caitlin, she'll just settle for Kate.
This incident isn't a new one. It's still fresh in the hearts of Caitlin's fans. Earlier in the season, DJ Carrington targeted Caitlin Clark with similarly aggressive tactics, catching her with a forearm that many believe warranted greater scrutiny. Yet, just as with the foul on Martin, the WNBA chose to remain silent, allowing the aggression to pass without consequences.
Do I think Djonai always just has to take it to the next level? Yes. Djonai, there's no place for this. There's no need for this. Again.
Kate Martin is a name often associated with resilience, determination, and a unique style of play, although not being able to match up with her best friend Caitlin Clark. But Martin became the unfortunate target of DJ Carrington's aggression. In what appeared to be an intentional play, Carrington delivered a forceful foul, sending Martin crashing to the floor in an awkward and dangerous position. The moment was shocking, not just for its physicality, but for Carrington's apparent indifference. She offered no apology, no acknowledgement, and simply walked away without looking as Martin struggled to regain her footing.
Let's see what really happened here, man, with Djonai. Okay. Nice pass. Oh, man. So you're going to help her up right after you clobber her like that, right? You're going to help her up after you clobber her like, didn't even look at her. Oh, she's so shady. She's so shady.
Fans immediately took to social media to voice their frustration, calling out both Carrington's lack of sportsmanship and the WNBA's decision to let the play continue without issuing a flagrant foul. For many, this moment was emblematic of a larger issue within the league: the failure to protect players from unnecessary and reckless aggression. In a twist of events, the foul on Kate Martin is eerily similar to Carrington's earlier incident involving Caitlin Clark. In that case, Carrington poked Clark with a long fingernail during a physical exchange that left Clark on the ground. Despite the clear contact and its potential to escalate, the WNBA once again chose not to intervene, allowing the moment to pass without consequence.
I have played basketball. I played ball for a number of years when I was a teenager. Played on basketball teams. I coached basketball. I have watched thousands of NBA basketball games. I've watched probably a few hundred WNBA games in my lifetime. I've watched every single game that Caitlin Clark has played. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of women's college basketball games. I've watched high school basketball games. There is absolutely nothing that is natural about this motion of Djonai Carrington.
This pattern of inaction has left fans questioning whether the league is doing enough to ensure fairness and player safety. Both Clark and Martin are among the league's most visible and influential stars, and the WNBA's failure to address their treatment on the court sends a troubling message. The WNBA's decision not to classify Carrington's foul on Martin as flagrant is baffling. The league has an obligation to enforce rules that prioritize player safety and sportsmanship. By allowing aggressive actions like Carrington's to go unpunished, the WNBA risks setting a dangerous precedent, one that could embolden players to push the boundaries of acceptable physicality.
WNBA Twitter is currently crashing out over Black Eye Gate. I'm sure we've seen by now this play where Djonai Carrington pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. And after seeing this angle, so many people are saying that it was intentional, right? Djonai goes up to steal the ball, and when she comes down, her hand goes like this, straight into Caitlin's eye. Do I think that this was a reckless play? Yes. Do I think that she did it with the intent to hurt Caitlin Clark? No. Do I think it should have been called a foul or a flagrant one?
The outcry from fans isn't just about the fouls themselves. It's about the lack of accountability. Supporters of Martin and Clark see these incidents as part of a larger issue within the league, where star players can be targeted without repercussions. This undermines not only the integrity of the game, but also the trust fans place in the WNBA to protect its players. Beyond the already controversial foul that left Martin awkwardly sprawled on the floor with no apology or acknowledgement from Carrington, another moment during the game drew scrutiny. What made the situation even more unsettling was the rough and awkward nature of the attempt. Carrington's body language and the force behind the slap seemed to signal frustration or even hostility. Though the referees allowed play to continue, many fans felt that the aggression was unnecessary and out of line for the context of the game. This isn't the first time Djonai Carrington has displayed questionable behavior on the court. Her earlier foul on Kate Martin, where she left the player awkwardly falling to the floor without so much as an acknowledgement, is already a topic of heated debate. Similarly, Carrington targeted Caitlin Clark earlier in the season with a reckless forearm, a move that also went unaddressed by the WNBA.
Djonai, how come every time there's a foul, a questionable foul, a flagrant foul, a smack across the face, a fingernail in the eyeball?
The repeated instances of overly aggressive and borderline unsportsmanlike behavior have left many questioning Carrington's approach to the game. While basketball is undoubtedly a physical sport, there's a fine line between competitive intensity and unnecessary roughness. Carrington's actions seem to cross that line, particularly when directed at players like Martin and Clark, who are pivotal to their teams and the league as a whole. What has frustrated fans even more is the WNBA's lack of intervention. In both instances, Carrington's awkward slap at the ball and her earlier foul on Martin, the referees and league officials chose not to issue any penalties or flagrant designations. This pattern of inaction has led to growing dissatisfaction among supporters who believe the league is failing to protect its players or hold aggressors accountable.
She's complaining about this being a foul called. She goes through her back, hacks her arm, nearly breaks her nose, and the fact that Aaliyah Edwards comes in with contact too. Like, Kate Martin's so lucky not to have been hurt on display. Like, she kind of turns her body because of Aaliyah Edwards.
By not addressing Carrington's rough play, the WNBA risks setting a precedent that such behavior is acceptable. This not only jeopardizes player safety, but also undermines the spirit of fair competition that the league seeks to promote. Fans of Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark, the most celebrated player in the game, have taken to social media to voice their outrage. Many are accusing Carrington of targeting these players intentionally, particularly given their status as central figures in women's basketball. The backlash has also turned into criticism of the WNBA itself, with fans demanding stricter enforcement of rules and greater accountability for aggressive behavior. DJ Carrington's attempt to slap the ball from Kate Martin's hands, combined with her earlier foul, paints a troubling picture of overly aggressive play. The apparent intent behind these actions has not gone unnoticed by fans, who are calling for the WNBA to step up and address these incidents with the seriousness they deserve.
Here, as the camera pans over, she reaches in and swipes at the ball, but how hard are you going to do it exactly? You trying to break somebody's arm? Look at that. Look at that. Boom. You know, it's the small things that ain't great. Once again, let's be smiling over. I mean, what are we doing? We trying to break an arm now on top of it? I mean, this person just says it. It's almost assault. Good grief. That looked like break my arm, bro.
As the league grows and its stars gain prominence, ensuring fairness and protecting players like Martin and Clark from unnecessary aggression must become a priority. Kate Martin has been nothing short of a revolution for Unrivaled, standing out as one of the league's most consistent and electrifying players. Her performances embody excellence, grit, and the kind of determination that has made her a fan favorite.
She has hurt her nose again. I don't know if it's broken or not, but I think Kate's just toughness, resiliency, and leadership is the biggest thing. And I mean, you see it. Like, Kate's a pro player. Like, you see her game. She's hitting fadeaway jump shots. She's going at people.
However, the recent foul by DJ Carrington has cast a shadow over Martin's impressive season, serving as a reminder of how quickly things can take a dangerous turn in a sport as physically demanding as basketball. What makes this incident even more significant is Kate Martin's history of dealing with injuries. As someone who has already endured her share of physical setbacks, Martin understands better than most the toll that injuries can take, not just on her body, but on her career and mental resilience. It's no wonder she was visibly frustrated after the foul, knowing full well how close she may have come to another lengthy recovery process. For a player like Martin, who has worked tirelessly to return to peak form and become a cornerstone for Unrivaled, such moments are especially disheartening. Her reaction wasn't just about the pain or frustration of the foul. It was about the risk it posed to everything she's fought to achieve.
Was how bad this foul on her from Djonai was. Like, this could have been, like, this was dangerous. This was dangerous play. Djonai has she makes no attempt to get the ball here.
Kate Martin is more than just a player for Unrivaled. Yet, despite her importance, Unrivaled has failed to protect her from unnecessary aggression and reckless play, as seen in the recent incident with DJ Carrington. This lack of action not only jeopardizes Martin's health and career, but also raises serious questions about Unrivaled's ability to support and safeguard its players. If Kate Martin, arguably their only true star, is left to fend for herself, what message does that send to the league, her teammates, and the fans? Unrivaled cannot afford to remain passive in the face of such incidents. As the team's only true star, Kate Martin deserves their full support and protection. This means taking a proactive stance in addressing aggression on the court and advocating for stricter enforcement of rules to prevent unnecessary risks. However, Unrivaled's leadership must push the league to hold players accountable for reckless actions. In the case of DJ Carrington's foul, a flagrant designation and potential disciplinary action should have been pursued. Allowing such behavior to go unpunished sets a dangerous precedent.
Another league. And this is exactly why Caitlin Clark's not playing in this league. Exactly why. Now, she's going to have to survive through the WNBA season. This is why she's not playing. Why go out there for 2 months for players that are literally going to try to physically injure you on the basketball court?
Meanwhile, silence from Unrivaled sends the wrong message, not only to Martin but to the rest of the league. The team should publicly stand by their star player, emphasizing the importance of her safety and well-being. This show of support would not only boost Martin's confidence, but also demonstrate that the team values her contributions. Also, incidents like this highlight the need for stricter policies to protect players from reckless play. Unrivaled should collaborate with the WNBA to advocate for clearer guidelines and harsher penalties for dangerous behavior. The incident with Djonai Carrington should serve as a wake-up call. If Unrivaled continues to allow their star player to be treated this way, they risk losing her, not just to injury but potentially to a team that values her contributions more. Whether this sparks a new rivalry or pushes the league to take a closer look at aggressive play, one thing is certain: Kate Martin isn't backing down, and fans will be there every step of the way. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.